One of my favorite times was during the IERD. We were in Denver at that time, and it was a beautiful opportunity for us to meet lots of people right after we'd been assigned to Denver, because we could go around to government offices and different NGOs telling them about the IERD and inviting them to give us names of groups who were doing self-help development in Colorado and the Rocky Mountain region, because this office in Denver was responsible for the whole Rocky Mountain region, was just the Dakotas and Montana and Wyoming, as well as Colorado and Utah. And so we got to visit a lot of interesting groups and projects that were doing their own development. And it was so exciting to document those and then invite them to forums. We were having, it was like sharing approaches at work forums or IERD forums, where different groups came together and talked about what they were doing. They set up displays, and we had a number of those in Colorado as well as other states. And it was a great opportunity for us to meet people. And then, people were so happy to talk about what they were doing and how they had done it. And so we formed a steering committee then for the Rocky Mountain region to select some among all the ones we had seen to be submitted as candidates for the projects that would go to India for the 1984 exposition. And among the steering committee members was the Lieutenant Governor of Colorado, and she took that job very seriously and would come to meetings and in the Denver house. And we had a member of David Carlson was in the government. I can't remember exactly what his position was at the time. Agriculture. But he is a very logical person and helped us do the selection. I think there was a grid with like 13 criteria and 100 categories down the side of this matrix to make a rational decision about selecting. But visiting the projects was most interesting. Anywhere from a blanket weaver in the Four Corners area of Colorado and New Mexico, to solar energy in southern Colorado and Lamar, to Wyoming and Utah Native American projects and so forth. And people were so happy to present what they'd done. And then when I think 8 were shortlisted from the region, we went to Lamar, Lamar, to tell them, well, they had been selected. And they said, okay, where's the money? And we said, well, we said we would help you, but you pay your way to go to India. Well, that was a shock to them, and they sent me to the newspaper editor to explain it to him. And he said, well, honey, if you tell them you're going to help them, that means you're going to pay the way. So that was a moment of confrontation. And luckily, my partner on this trip was a colleague from Denver who said, okay, I'll pay half of it if you pay the other half. So it worked out fine. And then in the San Luis Valley, which is southern Colorado, and they only have 90 growing days a year. It's very cold there. So solar systems were very important for them to continue warmth after the growing season. And we found 2 projects there which were excellent. One was a very small scale, low-tech kind of family system which they shared with other very poor families in the area. And another one was more high-tech, and we wanted them to combine together as one project, as a solar project. And they didn't want to do that. They had unique approaches. So it took some persuasion to get them to join together as one project so that it would have more substance and weight in the national selection. And sure enough, they were selected nationally. But then 3 or 4 people wanted to go to India then when they were selected. And they didn't have money for that. So that was another crisis point. So that was interesting, working all that through.